Welcome to Ponytails and Pep Talks, the podcast where blowouts, breakdowns, and breakthroughs are a weekly discussion. I'm your host, ReJeania. For over 3 decades, I've been behind the salon chair as a stylist, an owner, and yes, your favorite unlicensed therapist. I have heard it all. The tears, the triumphs, the you won't believe what just happened stories from courageous women overcoming incredible obstacles. So let's meet one of them right now on Ponytails and Pep Talks. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episodes of Ponytails and Pep Talks. Just pre-warning today, it might be a get your box of Kleenexes ready. Today's episode, we're going to talk about love, loss, the legacy of Trey, and a rare cancer that needs more information out there about it. I want to welcome my friend Carol Baring, which I have known since our boys were in 2nd grade together. Carol, what was Trey like as a child?
Well, of course, I'm going to say he was perfect.
Of course he was.
He was good. He was such a good kid and brought a lot of joy to a lot of people's lives. And, probably my biggest struggle with him through my whole life was when he got really big into tennis and just trying to learn how to navigate all of the emotions on the tennis court. But as a child and a little one, he was just full of love.
So how did those traits from a child evolve into the adult that he became?
Exactly the same. Like once he found the love of his life and married her, just always such goodness around them. And then when they found out they were pregnant and having their son, it was the best thing that ever happened to him. He loved that kid just with every ounce that was in him. So I think I sent you one picture, which is my very favorite, when Reeves was a baby. And I mean, that just shows you exactly how he felt about that kid. So
Oh,
a lot of love. It's good because, in
definitely.
4 years is all Reeves got with his dad, but he remembers how much his daddy loved him.
Well, of course, most definitely. So go back when he was younger, and we're talking about the tennis. When that this was more than just I'm a kid out there playing tennis, his passion grew to the point of wanting to continue this for the rest of his life.
So he was probably a junior in high school and just really started wanting to play in a lot of tournaments to try to get a national ranking and let colleges start looking at him. And he wanted to play in college and play at that level. And so he went to college as an engineering major and trying to play tennis. It's a lot. Then he switched his major to business so that he could continue playing tennis, but then figured out that he could use his business degree to have his tennis career also. So he became an elite tennis pro, which is really hard to do, and started his business teaching tennis.
He really did. He went for it. And of course, knowing Trey from such a young age, I mean, obviously he was extremely handsome. And I know as mom, of course, you think that, but even as, someone else, he truly was handsome. He had a beautiful smile. It was evident that he had a genuine love for others and for teaching and for helping. Even though he was quiet, he kind of had a quiet strength about him. As he did get older, I definitely was honored to be a part of y'all's family to begin with. Even when we met back then, when the boys were little, then I began cutting everyone's hair. And as your parents moved here, as your brother moved here, and everybody's there. And then the exciting part is watching Trey grow up and then, got invited to be a part of the wedding and to do everyone's hair for the wedding, which was great. And then, of course, a few years later, then comes along this sweet little baby.
Yeah.
What would you say that Trey was most proud of being a husband and a father?
Goodness. I think he would probably be most proud of the husband that he was, which led him to be an amazing father as well. He just had such love for those two people in his life, and it was apparent to everyone. Reeves was with him all the time. Like, he always wanted to be around both of them. They're just so good together. They had a very special love, and, again, a short time, but I remember Rachel saying one time that when Trey was really sick, that they had been married 7 years, and she said, we had a love like no other for 7 years, and most people don't even get to know that kind of love in their lifetime. So it was good. And I know he would be proud of the dad he was and the husband he was. And I'm very proud of him too.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question. What are you most proudest of his accomplishments, of the dad that he was, of the husband that he was?
Yeah, he was an amazing husband and father, and I also remember sitting in their living room one time and just watching him be a dad and thinking to myself, there's no prouder moment than when you see a child become a successful adult, doing everything right in life, loving his wife, and adoring his child. Like, it doesn't get any better than that as a parent.
Absolutely. I've got to experience that also. And I do. I love watching them, our children, becoming the parent. Of course, my favorite thing is them saying things that you said that they thought they would never say to their own children. And it's for some reason incredibly funny to me.
Yeah, it is.
So tell me about the journey through the diagnosis when y'all started finding out something was wrong. He wasn't
Yeah.
feeling good. What happened with that?
Super healthy all of his life, just hardly ever sick. And we were at the Christmas parade in Georgetown. And after the parade, he said, I'm just not feeling really good, which is odd. And he said, I'm going to hang out for a little bit, but then I need to go home. And so he went home and we had plans to meet up later that night for dinner.
Mhm.
And Rachel called us and she said, he's been sleeping for 3 hours. And so I think we're going to pass. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And so kind of had a little bit of a cough. And on Tuesday, that was a Saturday, that was the parade. On Tuesday, I was at work and he texted me, said, I'm gonna go to the doctor because I was coughing up blood this morning in the shower. So I'm like,
Scary.
okay, yes, please go to the doctor. Like, you just, that's never a good thing. And so he
No.
went to the doctor. They did a chest x-ray and he had a little bit of fluid in his lung. And so they said it was pneumonia, which makes sense,
Yeah.
and put him on antibiotics. Actually had a course of steroids and a different antibiotic through a friend of ours that, looked at everything and said, I think he needs a little bit more than what that doctor gave him. So thankfully, we got him on some different meds. He went to Christmas in Tennessee with his wife to go visit his in laws. And he just started feeling really bad there again.
Hmm.
And the next time I saw him was Christmas or New Year's Eve at my house. And they came over for New Year's Eve, and all of our family was here. And he just looked so sick, and he was
Yeah.
in pain. His chest was really hurting him. So we talked about him going back to the doctor. And so, with the holidays, the day that the doctor's offices opened back up, he went back in and they did another chest x-ray and his lung was completely filled with fluid.
Mm.
So they said, you're no longer outpatient treatable. We need to get you to the hospital. And he was like, what? So
So
he went to the hospital.
did they just start out thinking maybe just his
It was
lung was full of
pneumonia.
fluid from pneumonia and let's go drain it, let's do whatever we need to do. They still hadn't realized there was something else wrong at this point.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So went to the emergency room. They put him right into ICU, put a chest tube in to drain the fluid, and then they did a CT scan and they saw the tumor at that point. My daughter-in-law called me. I had gone over to her house to let their dogs out because Trey was in the hospital, and then we
She
were
was
going to
with
go
him.
see them, and she called me and she said they're saying that he has cancer, and I said I rebuke that. So ended up he had some swollen lymph nodes up in his neck and clavicle area. So sure enough, we got the diagnosis the next day that he did have cancer. And they told us they thought it was one that could be cured. They first told us it
Mm.
was a germ cell cancer. And then they did
Yeah.
the stains, and the stains came back that it wasn't. So then they went to leukemia, lymphoma, and again, no stains picked up on it. And then
Mm.
it was melanoma. And again, nothing. So they did more biopsies, sent them to MD Anderson. And in the meantime, they had done another CT scan and the tumor had grown. The tumor ended up being behind his sternum, high. So when they did the chest x rays, they could see the lungs, but they couldn't see the tumor because the x ray wasn't up high enough. And he never had pneumonia. It was the tumor that was pressing on his heart that was dumping fluid into his lung. So it
Wow.
presented as pneumonia, which unfortunately, from the other moms that I am in a group with that have lost their sons as well, they have all presented as pneumonia. So his cancer was called nut carcinoma, NUT carcinoma. The statistics that I've read are less than 100 people a year are diagnosed with it, which if you think of how many people are in this world, that's not very many.
Not very many at
Um,
all.
Less than 1%. Uh, I think that the awareness of it is starting to get out because MD Anderson did start a trial study last May. So they are
Okay.
actually starting to look at this. I hope that they're starting to test for it more. I hope that when young men present with pneumonia that are relatively healthy, that they do the extra
Better
steps of a
checks.
CT scan and just see, rule it out. Who cares how much it costs? Just rule it out because the sooner you can catch this, I think that you would have a better chance of trying to beat
Mhm.
it. So, yes, nut carcinoma, they say it's not genetic and it's not hereditary. It's just a mutated DNA and they don't know why it mutates. They just
Mutates.
they don't know why it just does. So, not a lot of understanding of this cancer yet,
Yeah.
but
Is
hoping.
there already proof that, people that have survived it? Has there been any survivors yet?
There has been a couple of survivors that have caught it
Okay.
super early. Like, one is actually a female, and she was a doctor,
Mm.
and it was in her lung, and she found it super early, and she just had her lung removed, and she has survived so far.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a couple of other people that have survived, but, they're like a year or 2 years. I think there's one that's 5 years out,
Okay.
and surprisingly, they're women. So, I just there
Okay.
just needs to be a whole lot more understanding about this cancer. So, that's a little bit scary that we're missing that, and it's so
It
rare
it
that they're
is.
not testing for it, and by the time you find this tumor, it's a less than a 6-month, um, that's it. You have 6 months, maybe. Trey had 87 days, and that's
Wow.
it.
So, and of course, I heard you say, which is something we need to bring up, you said other moms' sons, because
Uh-huh.
this particular cancer happens to hit males, young males, more often than anyone else.
For women that have gotten this,
Yeah.
but statistically, it's young men. And healthy
You're
young
right.
men. Like, one of the other moms, her son was running 5 miles on the beach, and the next day he was like, "I don't feel great." Like, 5 miles one day and then has cancer 2 weeks later. It's kind of a quiet one. It sneaks up on you until you're just really sick.
Where did your mind go, your heart go, your thoughts go? It's like, I have to fix this. We're moms. We want to fix it. And then now you also have a daughter in law that loves your
Mhm.
son, and she's going to have some say in what she thinks needs to be
Of
done.
course.
How did y'all work together with this? How did y'all deal together with this?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because the mom in me wanted to take care of everything, and that's my spirit anyway, is I
Yeah,
wanna fix things. That's who I am. That's how I've been all my life. I just wanna fix it. And then you have to also respect boundaries of a husband and a wife, and I'm sure I crossed many of those. But, my intentions were always to help him and to try to get the best care for him I mean, he's 32 years old at the time, but he's my baby. And you want
absolutely.
everything to go right, and, you just wanna fix it. I spent hours in the shower begging God to
Take
fix
it
it or
away.
to take me or whatever he needed to do, but to let Trey live because it just
Yeah.
seemed very unfair. Everybody struggles with stress differently and everybody handles things differently, but we've come out of it a stronger family.
Hmm.
There were bumps in the road, but we are so good, and I am so thankful
Yeah.
for my daughter-in-law, and I'm so thankful for the love that she gave my son that he so wanted to have in his life, and she fulfilled that for him, and I'm so very thankful for Trey's little mini me that is roaming this earth because they are just spitting
Absolutely.
images of each other.
Yes, I know,
Yeah.
and I would be thankful to God every day too that even though my child had to go, thank you God that there is a part of him that's still going to live on.
Yeah.
And that's incredible. And I'm sure that Rachel didn't mind you stepping over a few lines because I'm sure she was so afraid and so young herself and,
Yeah. It's a lot
needed
to go through.
directions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
needed
It's
strength.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah,
lot, and, I love her dearly. I thank God for her every day. Like, she's
yeah.
truly a blessing in my life. After Trey passed away, I said I had an only son, and now I have an only daughter.
Right?
Yeah, so you're mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure she is very grateful for that and
Yeah,
proud to
she's
be
a very
that.
special guest.
She really is. I mean, even when they were dating, y'all had already started getting close then. She
Yeah,
was just a perfect match into your family
yeah,
because she also is very precious, very beautiful, very kind, and it's rare to find two people that way that actually get to meet with each other. Just God knew that they needed to live a lifetime in 7 years of
yeah,
love. And
and they
so
did.
they
Mm,
did. And so now, how do you think grief has changed you? I mean, this was a big thing to go
mm,
through.
yeah,
How has did your faith increase? Did you, I mean, of course, we all get a little upset with God sometimes when
yeah.
big things happen and want some explanation. How did your faith grow? What happened with that?
While Trey was sick, I will say my faith exploded. I believed that he could be healed. I believed that God could turn this around, that he could fix it. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I prayed like I have never prayed before in my whole life. But I also know that Trey had a strong faith. He was
Yeah.
raised going to church and maybe pulled away a little bit as we all do in our lives because I think that you have to find your own faith. It can't be your parents' faith or,
Yeah.
your wife's faith. It has to be your
Mhm.
faith. And so I think he was finding that again
Yes.
after he passed away and my prayers were not answered. It's
Yes.
it's it takes a minute regroup with all of that and get it back, but I never lost my faith. I was just
Right.
mad.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I made myself look for a blessing every single day, even on the
Mhm.
worst days, the hard,
Oh,
hard, hard days. I kept a book, a journal, and every
good.
day I would write down a blessing. And it could be the smallest thing, like the sun came out today.
Yeah,
And
anything.
it was a gloomy, rainy day, but the sun came out. But every day, sometimes it was a great thing. Like sometimes it was a day that I got to be with Trey for just a few minutes by ourselves and we got to have a heart to heart talk.
Yeah,
Those were to me bigger blessings.
right.
But he had a faith that he was going to be healed. He doubted that he was going to beat this cancer.
Yes,
From the time of his diagnosis, he said, I don't want you guys to say that I am beating cancer or I'm fighting cancer. He said, I want you to say I'm conquering it. And
I
so that
like
was our
that.
language that we used. He never doubted. He
Yes,
knew he was going to get better.
and the thing is,
Unfortunately,
it wasn't here. It wasn't here,
yeah,
but he's well
he
in
was going to
heaven.
get better.
So,
Yeah. Yes. And
yeah.
his little boy has such a strong faith too. And a couple of days after Trey passed away, he goes, Mimi, do you realize that my daddy went to heaven to get his new body and he is all better now? And it's just like we would drive in the car and Reeves would look up at the clouds and he'd go, my daddy's in those clouds. And he would blow kisses and say, hi, daddy, I love you. And I hope you love your new body.
Oh,
So, yeah. So seeing the faith of a child and seeing
yes.
how pure and honest it is, and that
Yeah,
also is such a great example because I got to see that too, and it helped me
absolutely.
refocus what I needed what I needed to.
You too would look up in the sky and you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, there he
Kisses
is.
to you too. And there he
Yeah.
is. I'm sure there are times you feel Trey around you. What are those moments like for you now? What do you see coming through whenever you feel his presence around you?
And, it's for me now, it's just a piece, and, I had a dream probably a month or 2 after he passed away, and,
Hmm.
I was walking on a path, and he was coming towards me, and he had his arms out and a big his big smile that everybody talks about all the time,
Yeah.
his just was it was who he was, and his big smile, and he gave me a big hug, and he told me, he said, "Mom, I just need you to know that everything is okay and everything is
Yeah.
gonna be okay." And since
Yeah.
that moment, like, that is what I needed. I needed that from him. we didn't get to have a lot of conversations the last month of his life because he was, intubated and
Too ill.
couldn't really talk, sedated a lot. But that
Right.
seeing that smile, seeing him healthy and happy is exactly what I needed. And I do think that God let me have a glimpse of that. So,
Closure. It helps to give you that closure. And just so that you could see his face telling
yeah,
you, I'm okay, mom. This is good.
yeah,
I'm in a good place. And I
yeah.
do believe God gives us that. Let's talk about this foundation that we've put together because of him being a tennis pro, because of his love of helping children and stuff. What is his foundation about that y'all have started, and why did y'all decide to do this?
I always knew I wanted to do something to honor him because I say every day he deserves to be remembered. He
Yeah.
was an amazing person, and there is no way I want him to ever be forgotten.
Yes.
The outpouring of our community who knew him agrees with me. Like, they are backing me 1,000% on everything that I ever come up with or want to
Absolutely.
do for him to have him remembered. I didn't
Mm,
know what I wanted to do at first. He was a tennis pro. He starting to think about trying to go pro in pickleball and playing a lot. He did develop a lot of youth teams, like took them to nationals in tennis and won, out of
yeah.
4,000 teams, he won nationals with a youth group that he
Wow.
developed. And so, my first thoughts were, do we do tennis? Do we do pickleball? There's so many sport scholarships out there for kids. And then there's the
Right.
scholarships for equipment and shoes and all of that. So I kept waiting because I felt like I would know when I knew.
Right. Yes.
So earlier this year, Rachel and I were talking about summer camps for Reeves because he was in kindergarten, so no longer in daycare and off in the summers. So we started looking, and the price of summer camps for children, it's pretty incredible.
It
Anywhere
is.
from $300 a week up to $600 a week, depending on what camp you want to go to. And for a parent that has been tossed into a situation that they never asked for, that they
Yes.
have to work full time and now they're alone raising a child on one income, it's tough to make those payments. I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do, especially for these parents who have been, for lack of a better term, tossed into the situation that
Right.
they did not want to be in. It wasn't a divorce. This was true love that just an
They
accident happened
lost.
or cancer
Right.
happened and now they're alone and they didn't ever really want to be.
Right.
I
Yes.
just want to help those kids have the ability to still go to these summer camps, to hang out with friends, to heal, to do whatever it is that they need to do to bring them joy in their lives, at the same time alleviating that huge financial responsibility from the parents that are struggling now because they are a single parent.
So where are you finding these families? Yeah, because it's male or female
Everywhere.
parents.
Yes, male or
Yeah.
female, it doesn't matter. It's just because there are men that have lost their wives to cancer as well, and they've got
Right.
young children. So it doesn't matter. It's not. So we have our website, which is the TreyBaringFoundation.org. There's an application on that website
Which
for
we will have
anybody.
linked. Yeah.
Awesome. So they have to meet qualifications. Those are all listed on there. Tells a little
Okay.
bit about their story and what's going on. Some people may not want a full scholarship. They may think that financially they're doing okay, but they could use a little bit of help. So we can offer a partial scholarship as well. They can choose what they want.
Okay.
They also get to choose which camp their kid wants to go to. We don't choose the camp. They get to choose. So it could be a camp that they're
Good.
used to, that they've been going to all along, that they know that they have good support at. So they get to choose their camp and then we'll pay for it. And we'll see after our fundraiser how many weeks we can help them or how many
Right.
families we can help for a few weeks. I'm going to start after the first of the year. I'm going to go to the local school counselors just because the privacy policies, like they can't tell me who these people are, but they can give them our
A link.
information. And then they can apply. I'm going to reach out to grief groups in the area, but we're not limiting it to just this Georgetown, Austin area. We want it to be across
Nationwide. Yeah.
nationwide. Yeah. I mean, we'll try to help as much as we can.
Yeah.
with anyone that needs it. We just need to know who they are. So that's the big thing, is just getting the word out about this foundation and to know who those people are that we can help, and getting them to reach
And
out. I know
support.
sometimes it's hard to reach out and ask for help.
Absolutely.
That's a
Yeah.
hard thing to do, but we're here. It's very private. Nobody has to know. It's just between them and us. And then we'll pay the camp fees directly. Hoping that there's more people out there than that are in this situation.
Sure. Being a hairdresser, I see a lot of that. For the people that come sit in our chairs, that they'll even say, well, I don't have a lot of money right now because of bills, or I just lost my spouse, or different things. So thankfully, there are things that help my situation also whenever I'm dealing with different ones. So salons are a
Yeah.
great avenue, to get
Yeah.
that word out about. You do have a big event coming up. So tell us about that, how people can help, how they can donate from here and now on. How, not
Yeah.
just looking for the help, but how can other people get involved to donate? Well, how can people help? And let's talk about what's going to happen
Yeah.
next weekend,
Yeah.
and what everybody can do to help.
So November 1st is we're having a big pickleball tournament and a silent auction. Our pickleball tournament's almost full. There's just a couple of spots left open, but if you want to go online and check it out and see if you want to come play, that'd be awesome. Like, we would love for all of
Yes.
our spots to be full. And we have a lot of spots left open for our men's teams. But I think it's the opening day of hunting season, which I didn't know. I think that may be why we're
That
lacking.
could cause a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're
And where
lacking
is
on the
it that
men's
they're
teams.
contacting? Through the
Um,
foundation or through what still?
So
Okay.
if you go to the Trey Baring Foundation.org website, there is a link for the tournament sign up. There's also a link if you just want to donate. And then there's a
Okay.
contact us if you have questions, or you want to just talk to me about what our needs are, what you can do to help. We've had some amazing sponsors this year.
Good.
We've had some platinum sponsors that have donated some really large amounts of money for us. So it's been
Good.
very, very, very good. Yeah. We also have a silent auction that day. And
Yes.
right now we have over 35 silent auction items.
Okay.
Includes, like, if you're a Texas Rangers fan, we've got Corey Seager autographed baseball. I have a Troy Aikman
Yay.
autographed baseball. Only because he was at a baseball game. I got his autograph. We have a lot of stuff. We have Texas Rangers tickets, but then we have lots of goodies like pickleball paddles and a lot of things that people have donated to come in. Lots of things for you could come up for the weekend and go shopping in Georgetown with some of these baskets.
Good.
Go hang out on
Yeah.
the square and shop all day with some of these things.
Sure.
Yeah, a
Will
lot of good things.
will the auction items be online somewhere also?
This is our first year, and we're trying to figure out a lot of
Right.
things. And I do believe that next year we are going to be online auctioning. This year,
Okay.
we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way, but,
Okay.
if there's something you want to see or know about, just, contact me
Do the
and we can
contact. Yeah.
yeah, we can help you get your bids in on
Okay.
any of those things. On the website, we're gonna post some sneak peeks, and, we do one of my favorite things is the Trey's favorite things basket, and so
Good.
it's all of his favorite things. So he loved Garrison whiskey bourbon. So we have a
Okay.
Garrison bourbon. He liked Thirsty
Yeah.
Goat beer and he liked Bonanza wine. So we have all of those. But then he also wore the Ray-Ban sunglasses all the time. And so we have a pair of those. I never wore regular socks. He always wore crazy socks. So we have some crazy socks in there. T-shirts to his
Okay.
favorite teams, the Rangers, the UT Longhorns, and of course the Dallas Cowboys. Um, Spurs stuff in there, and we have a Jeep that looks like his. It's a little toy Jeep, but it
Oh,
looked like his Jeep that he drove all the time, and, um,
right.
lots of stuff. So his favorite things basket is really, really cool. So I'm
And that's
excited
going
to
up for
see.
auction. That'll be up for
Yeah,
auction.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That'll be
So lots of
great.
good
That'd
stuff
be
in there.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We do have T-shirts and caps that we're gonna sell, so if,
Okay. Good.
we do have a Facebook page too, Trey Baring Foundation, just on Facebook. You can follow us and
Okay.
contact us through that also, but, I'll post some pictures of our T-shirts, and
Okay.
they're $25 a piece. They're long sleeve dry fits in his favorite color, which is a light blue, so Yeah, we have those also. And if anybody wants one, I can get it out to them.
Well, maybe even on that day of the auction on the Facebook page, y'all could just go down the
Yeah,
aisle and show everyone
do the
what's
live.
available. So yeah,
Yeah,
do a little live thing so that people can see, and maybe they can put their bid in over Facebook
yeah,
even, and then y'all could
yeah.
go write it down.
We just found out we do have a Nolan Ryan signed baseball card too.
Y'all got
So,
big
but
stuff.
we do. We just found out that Reed Ryan, who is Nolan Ryan's son, he runs
Yes.
the Round Rock Express Stadium here in Round Rock. I was talking to him last night and he said, I want to do something really special for the winners of the pickleball tournament. So this is motivation for you to sign up and win. And I've
Yeah.
not told anybody except my board members this. So y'all are the first to know that if
Okay, great.
you come in first place in the tournament, and I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 divisions that you can win in. So there'll be 18 winners because you play with a partner. You get a
Okay.
raffle ticket, and the raffle ticket is going to be drawn at the end of the tournament. And whoever wins gets the suite at Round Rock Express Stadium for 16
Yeah.
people, and all of the food's included. So it's like a $2,500 value
Prize value. That
that is
is
going to be
amazing.
drawn amongst the winners. So that was a very generous donation that he gave us last night. So that'll be
It
exciting.
really
Little
is.
motivation to come and play and win.
Absolutely. And for their friends to come cheer them on because they want to be
Yeah,
invited. They want to be one of those
exactly.
16
Yeah,
invited. I want to thank you definitely from one mom to the other. You
yeah,
know, it broke my heart. All the stuff with
I
Trey
know.
broke my heart. And I've loved all the posts, on Facebook and all the things. And I love that you've reached out on days when it wasn't so good, when you were looking for
Yeah,
something to be
yeah.
grateful and happy about. And I just send those heart emojis and those love
I
emojis and,
know. I appreciate them too.
just give you a hug from a distance.
And those all help me. They all bring me peace. But, I will
That's
say
good.
every day for the rest of my life, he should be here.
He
He should be
should
here.
be here. He should
Yeah.
be. And you know what? In a way, with all of this, he always will be. There will always be. And he's just moving this right along. And it's definitely a legacy that will always live.
Yes.
Reeves will carry it on even then. And
Mhm.
when he has children, it'll be carried on again. So Trey will actually never die. His legacy
No.
will always,
Yes, of
to go on. So I appreciate you being brave enough to come on
course.
here and to pour out your heart and for something that is still pretty fresh. It
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago. And
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
love you.
But I love you too. And I appreciate your support and helping me get the word out. Like, it's bringing us all a lot of peace and joy to have a purpose and not to
Yes.
think that this didn't happen for, that this happened for nothing. So to have a purpose is very helpful. So, but I appreciate all of your support and help and helping us get this out.
You are very welcome. We're going to post the links, post pictures, and post the Facebook page also, because this will be going out just a few days or so before the tournament. And
Mhm.
so I want people to be able to get in there, as quick as possible. Um,
Perfect. I appreciate it.
I just love you. My prayers are with you and all of
Thank
you.
you.
And I look forward to just talking with you again and maybe even again
Sounds
next
good.
year and see how
Yeah.
much this has grown.
Wait to see how many people we can help too.
Me
So,
too.
yeah,
That'll
get
be
the word
great
out.
stories for next year. Yeah, be great stories
Yes.
for next year for showing that if they want to be shown, or just at
Yeah.
least the statistic of how many children got helped and waiting to see how much this is just going to grow. This
Yes.
foundation will continue to grow and you'll have new ways to get the word out. And so I'm glad I can be the beginning of a small part
Yes.
of helping you to
Thank
get that
you.
information out.
I
All right.
appreciate it.
My
Thank
love to
you.
you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.